everybody, Mark with Midnight Snack Movies and Music, back to you again today for a new video. I hope you all are doing well. It's been, once again, quite a while in between videos here, but I am officially on summer break, so finally have some time off. Maybe I'll get back into making some more videos. Today I want to talk about a record, and in particular a record that's relatively new, at least the deluxe version that we're going to be talking about today. Just came out a couple weeks ago in late May. And it's a record that I absolutely had to own on vinyl. It is my favorite band of all time, and it's their newest record. And I never really got the chance to talk about this record when it came out last year on the channel. So I figured, let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's talk about this record as a whole, and let's talk about the deluxe version. And that is, of course, Savior's Edition Deluxe by Green Day. So Savior's originally released in January of 2024, and I of course picked it up back then, but I didn't talk about the album. But I was really pleasantly, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I had a really good time with this album last year. And when I heard they were throwing a few extra tracks at us, I was very excited for that. So I had to pick it up. I have the standard edition of this record. I just can't find it at the moment. But I know I bought the exclusive edition from 1234 Go Records when this thing came out originally. However, can't seem to place it at the moment. But we'll go ahead and go through the packaging on this. We'll unbox it. I'll talk a little bit about the original album as well as the extra tracks. So this is a limited edition release. I don't know if this was an exclusive at all. I picked it up on Amazon, which I'm not a huge fan of spending money on Amazon, but I feel like we're all kind of addicted to it at this point, and that's really not changing. So, you know, it was a decent price. I picked it up on Amazon for this particular release. Of course, I bought the original from independent record store, so I can feel good about that. This is the back of it. There's your track listing. So this is a 2 LP for the deluxe edition. The first record is the original album, and then the second record is your deluxe version. So you have 5 new songs on the deluxe edition, along with 2 acoustic versions. Now I'll talk about those acoustic versions. I really could have taken or left those, but there's some really standout tracks on the new songs. This one came out, like I said, in January of 2024, deluxe edition in May of 25. So really kind of milking this record, but it's a really good record. Like, I loved this thing when it came out, still love it. I think it still holds up very well. Definitely returned to form after a really bad album with Father of All in 2020. This was what Green Day fans wanted to hear. Kind of like a blend of some of their newer styles, new kind of power pop influenced stuff I feel like that they've been putting out the past few years that I really love. But then they also, you know, there's a couple songs that really feel like throwback to, you know, old school Green Day, just classic 2-minute punk rock songs that do their job and then get out. And I thought this album, just as a whole, it's everything I could want from Green Day at this stage of their career. Is it their best album ever? Absolutely not. It's not gonna, you know, rival American Idiot or Dookie, but it is a really solid record. Definitely top half of their discography, I think. So it's, you know, for these guys being in their 50s, very impressive for them to put out this quality of a record when they're on, what is this, album 14, album 13, something like that. So taking the shrink wrap off, there's the hype sticker there. And then cover art is fantastic. I love the way they incorporated pink into the theme. I love the old school photo, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with the actual subject of the album. This photo was taken in Northern Ireland, I think late 60s, early 70s, something like that, during a period called the Troubles, where there was a lot of political violence taking place in Northern Ireland. So I guess that's kind of the theme. They're trying to relate this picture to the current political state of America and the world in 2024. And I thought they did a pretty solid job of balancing the political commentary in this album. So first of all, this is a brand new gatefold. This is not what the original gatefold looked like. Some really awesome photos from the Saviors Tour. Yeah. I was not fortunate enough to see the Saviors Tour, so what they did was they played, for the anniversaries of these albums, they played American Idiot in full and Dookie in full at every Saviors Tour show, and I just couldn't make it happen. Concert tickets have gotten so ridiculously expensive lately. I still go to concerts, and every once in a while I will drop, $200 to see, like I saw Blink-182 last year. I'd never seen them before, so I dropped $200 to see them, but it was going to be another $200 to see Green Day, and I just couldn't do it. And I've seen Green Day before, and I absolutely want to see them again one of these days. It's just gotten so ridiculously expensive. The first time I saw Green Day on the Revolution Radio Tour, I paid like $60, $50-$60, something like that, to see them in an arena, and it's now you have to spend at least $150-$200 to see them. It's ridiculous. The Ticketmaster situation is horrible, but it's not just Ticketmaster. It's like artists, companies, venues, they've got to do something about this to make it a little bit more affordable for us to go see our favorite artists. This is like really jammed in there. Try not to break it on the first time opening it. There we go, we got it. Okay. So I'll go ahead and show you what the records look like, and then we'll kind of talk about the album. There is nothing else on the inside, just your two records in custom inner sleeves. So, I believe this one is your first album. It's got all the lyrics of the album on the inner sleeve. And then this comes in on a pink splatter vinyl. Very cool. And then there's record number 2. There's a picture of the guys, some credits, and then some more lyrics. This does have all the lyrics for the special edition as well, the deluxe edition. And then once again, we have pink splatter vinyl. So a very cool edition. I'm not familiar with all of like the special editions that came out for this, but the album itself. So I'm not going to go through every single track, but I'll talk about some of the tracks that are my favorites here. So The American Dream Is Killing Me is the first track on the record, and that was the first single as well. Came out October 2023, I want to say. And I did do a video review for that track. I thought that was an incredible track, a great way to kick off the release cycle for the record, and very catchy. Some hard-hitting political commentary. Also some kind of sus lyrics with Billy. I feel like Billy's lyrics have never been the most amazing, but they've always been good. And lately I've kind of seen them take a little bit of a nosedive. On this record, it's kind of a mixed bag. The lyrical content is okay, at times really, really good, and at times kind of iffy, but I think the instrumentals on this record, the riffs are incredibly catchy. The way that, Billy, Mike, and Trey are playing together is just very, very good on this record. So the musical element definitely carries it, I think, as with most Green Day stuff, but the lyrical content is okay, if a little bit hit or miss. But I thought they did a really good job of talking about, things like homelessness and kind of feeling left out by the American dream and America as a whole. And I think it's a really good statement of where we are in 2024, 2025 with the political climate in the United States. Second song is Look Ma No Brains, just a down and dirty punk rock classic song. It's so unbelievably catchy. Lyrics are, once again, okay, but the groove, the riff on this song is so catchy and so much fun. I love that track. Bobby Socks is one that really grew on me. So they released that one as a single, and Billy actually tries his hand at a little bit of screaming on this song, and I think it works very well. Just a really fun song about young love and connection and that kind of thing, and it's got like a great music video for it too. And it was a song at first I'm like, I don't know about this, and then I listened to it 4 or 5 times. I'm like, yep, this is for me, absolutely. Let's see, also kind of an under the radar queer anthem for that one too, which I think is really cool. Billy is bisexual, and this is one of the few songs he really talks about that on a Green Day song. And although it could kind of, like for the homophobes, it could kind of slide under the radar a little bit, if you're paying attention to the lyrics, you know what he's talking about. And I think that's really cool. Dilemma, which is another single. This one's gotten a lot of awards love and very well deserving. I think it's probably the best Green Day single in 10 years. Very good, deals with Billy's struggles with alcoholism and addiction, and I think it deals with that in a very honest way. And it has some really hard-hitting instrumentals as well that I find really, really good. 1981 is a song that's kind of a little under the radar in this record. Insanely catchy, like an earworm if there ever was one. Lyrics that deal with the 1980s and the Cold War, and I think that's a time period that kind of resonates a little bit with the situation that we're dealing with in the world. But it's just a really fun song, and it's insanely catchy, and I can't believe they didn't put this as a single at any point in the album release cycle. Some songs on side B that stand out. Coma City has just an incredible instrumental breakdown towards the end. There's great drum solos towards the end of that song. It's a song that deals with primarily mass shootings, which is something that Billy has written about several times. You can tell that that's an issue that really hits and angers him, because he tends to talk about it quite a bit, and it's an issue that at many times I would rather not think about, but so in some cases when I listen to these songs, sometimes I kind of want to skip them just because of the lyrical content, but it's definitely important things that need to be said, and the way that they deliver the message musically is incredible on that track. Let's see, Strange Days Are Here to Stay, which is a really great song, one of my favorites when I first listened to the record. Basically talking about how strange the times in which we live are, and it's a great line about how, ever since Bowie died, things haven't been the same. So like since 2016, which is really where it feels like everything just kind of flipped into this hellscape that we're living in 2025. Living in the 20s is a song that I thought was a little cringy at first, but I really love now. And then some really great ones towards the end. Saviors, the title track, is very good. And Fancy Sauce, which is a really weird title and a really weird way to end the record, but it is so much fun. Now we get to the deluxe edition. So your new tracks, Smash It Like Belushi, which was the first single from the deluxe edition, and another catchy, upbeat punk rock song. Nothing super special about it, but just, really fun. Stay Young, which is kind of a great power pop song, a little bit longer, a little bit more fleshed out instrumentally. However, the lyrics are so unbelievably repetitive on that song. I like the song. I think it's got a fun groove to it, but the way he just repeats Stay Young like 27 times in the song, I thought got a little bit old and tiresome. Fuck Off, which is a fun song, again very repetitive, but it's, you'd be expecting with that title that it's going to be a little bit more hard-hitting than it was in terms of the instrumentals, but it's really just a catchy punk rock song that, it just feels like if you're pissed off at somebody, this is a song that you sing in the car. Ballyhoo, which was another single they released for the deluxe version. Okay, nothing super memorable about that track. And then you got the acoustic versions of Susie Chapstick and Father to a Son, which are not my favorite songs on the record to start with. Susie Chapstick is fun. I can't get into Father to a Son. Like, I know it's supposed to be kind of like a heartwarming story, the feel-good song, On the record, kind of the slower one. I just can't get into that song. I don't know what it is about it. It's a fine song. It's, you know, there's nothing really wrong with it, but it's just, it doesn't connect with me like I would like it to. But the acoustic versions really on this album are just the original vocal tracks with an acoustic track behind it. It's not a complete re-recording of the song, which is what I would have liked. I would have liked a new version, something different. But this just feels like recycled money grab to me, and I don't really like that at all. So the acoustic versions, I skip through those. Not the biggest fan. But the last song on the deluxe edition, Underdog, this song is so much fun. 2 minutes, punk rock energy, great lyrics. These are my favorite lyrics, maybe on the entire record, where there's so many incredible lines here. You know, life's too short to be normal. I want to live amongst the wild, wild life. You know, just so much fun. The lyrics from Green Day that I really like and love are the ones about finding yourself, being true to yourself, and I think that's really a core of what punk rock is. And that song in particular is just so fantastic. So I'm actually going to end off this little review by playing you a needle drop of Underdog, which is one of my absolute favorites on this record. So let's go ahead and do that, and I will wrap up my thoughts on the album. Alright, so Saviors Deluxe Edition by Green Day. A solid record. I definitely recommend that you own at least the standard edition of this album if you're a Green Day fan, or if you're a pop punk fan. I think it's worthy of a purchase. If you're looking for kind of a more modern Green Day album, this is definitely the one I would go with. Revolution Radio is really good too, but if you're looking at the music they've released in the last 15-20 years, this is right up there with the best. Again, not gonna rival their best work, but a really solid kind of late period Green Day album. So if that's what you're looking for, this is definitely one you should be checking out. If you're not already a Green Day fan, I don't think this is going to convert you in any way, but it's a really solid album for us fans, and I think obviously if you're a Green Day fan, you've definitely already heard this album, but I do recommend you giving it a chance if you haven't already. My grade on Saviors Deluxe Edition, we're going to go with a solid 4 out of 5. Really excellent album. Nothing super special that's going to blow you away, but a really, really fun record. So that's it. That's my thoughts. Look forward on the channel in the next few weeks to some content. There's definitely some movies coming out in the near future that I want to check out and do some reviews for. And I've got a few ideas for some other videos to get to. So I hope you guys are having an amazing June as we just kicked off the month. And I will see you guys later. Bye.